Welcome back to Nikki's Nosh. And welcome to Nikki's Nosh, and today we're reviewing some grub, and it's this. It's ostrich. The clue was in the start actually, but we've got the ostrich sous vide steaks. Now sous vide is just simply, in crude terms, boiling the bag. So they're delivering the ostrich in a bag, and we'll open this box up and we'll have a little look inside. But I'm going to cook it very quickly. We're having it with watercress, spinach and rocket salad. I've got 20 grams of the salad here, so that's a quarter of the pack. So that has cost me 15 pence. That's going to cost 15 pence for this dinner. We've got some Aldi British salad potatoes. I bought these today, and it's 1 kilogram of potatoes, and we've got 150 grams of that, so it's an eighth effectively, and it cost 89 pence, so about 10 pence for the potatoes, 11 pence for the potatoes. So let's say they're 11 pence, and let's say those are 15 pence, so that's 26 pence. What's the rest going to cost? Well, this is £3.79, but this is the ostrich steaks, sous vide steaks, and the interesting thing about ostrich is they're grown almost in a sort of, I suppose you might say, a free-range way. Obviously, lions can attack them, and probably other predators, so they are protected, but they are fed on alfalfa crops, maize, oats. They have a good life. They're allowed to behave like ostriches do, I suppose. I don't know quite how they do behave. These I got from Aldi. They're called the Lion Kingdom product. The company, strangely enough, is in York, but the code on the back says, the traceability code on the back says NE030, a company in Chesterfield. So I'm not sure quite where they came. They say they were being packaged in the UK, so we'll go from that. So this is what we're going to have as a meal. We're going to be having the ostrich steaks, and I'm going to do those in 3 different ways. So we've got ostrich sous vide steaks. We've got it says 2 ostrich steaks. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook one in the pan. I'm going to fry one. The other one I'm going to chop in half, and I'm going to put one half in the oven, and I'm going to put one half in the microwave, because you in theory can do it. I've looked on the manufacturer's website, and they say you can do it. All they suggest is just simply pan fry. So we'll be pan frying this one of them, and the other 2 we'll put one in the microwave, we'll put the other one in the oven and see what we get. But the important thing about ostrich is 85% of the world's ostrich for food is actually in South Africa, and the majority is in the same area where these have come from. And there's a cooperative, 250 farmers cultivating these in an area called Klein Karoo. It must be some area of South Africa. I don't know South Africa, but obviously it must be. The conditions are perfectly fine for breeding ostriches in that area of South Africa. But the thing is that it's low in energy. It's very low in saturated fat. It's got lots of iron in it, and it's got a lot of protein. And so you've got the perfect piece of meat here. It's not got the drawbacks of beef. It is a red product. It's a red meat product, but it hasn't got the same drawbacks of pork or lamb or beef. Has it got the same tastes? Is it a taste that I'm going to enjoy? Well, we'll find out in a minute. But let's have a look a little bit more at the pack. The cooking instructions are very clear. It says, this wasn't defrosted, this was from a chilled pack. It says, remove all the packaging, add a little oil to the pan, and olive oil is recommended, and add the steak to the pan, drizzling the marinade over the steak. Heat the steak for approximately 2 to 2.5 minutes per side. Caramelizing the marinade. Allow to rest for 2 minutes and serve. So it's going to be a really easy dinner to cook. And the spuds are going to go in for 10 minutes in the microwave. rocket salad's we're going to do nothing with it, and I'm going to now unpackage this. So let's undo it and let's see what happens, see what we get inside. Now, I think I've had ostrich once before. I can't remember what it tastes like. Ah, right, you can see here what we've got. And I don't think I'm going to get fat on this. You've got 2 bags with some very small amounts of meat in them, and obviously a sauce. As I say, 250 grams, you don't get a lot. So this is a meal for one. There is absolutely no way this is a meal for 2. So £3.79 for the meat and 26 for the veg. So that works out at £4. We'll allow for a little bit of energy, but I'm going to be cooking this on the induction hob, which is over yonder. The potatoes need some water. These are baby new potatoes, but I've chopped them down so that they will cook faster. In fact, I'm going to do them for 6 minutes. Right, so that's doing. Wow, that's got quite a smell to it. It's in a barbecue sauce. This is. They say it's in a barbecue sauce. Right, so we've got the meat on the plate. Got the meat here on the plate. That's the sauce. Let's just tip that sauce away into there. And that's the second one. I imagine it would be a meal for 2, but I really don't think it's going to be a meal for 2. I generally will have a 400 gram dinner, and this is only 250 for the 2. I'm going to slice one of these in half, and I'm going to put one in the microwave. So this is another one of my ninja knives that I got. It was a set of 5, so the scissors were the 5th one, so I got 4 knives. And this is one of the 4. This is the smallest of them. This is the paring knife. I'll cut through this. And remember, this is raw. Well, I say it's raw. It doesn't look like it's raw. You can see here that it's red on the inside, but it's not red on the outside. So I suspect this has been pre-cooked to a certain extent, and we're just doing the final cooking. It cut really well. I mean, it really cut through superbly well. We've got the potatoes here. They look pretty well done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to put it on there, and I'll put a little bit of the sauce on top. One is going to be another minute in the microwave. So that does the 1 minute in the microwave. So let's just put that back in the microwave. We're going to do 1 minute in a second, but we're not going to do it straight away. Right, so the other piece of meat, the other half of meat, which is this one here, what we're going to do is we're going to put that one into the HYSapientia, and I'm going to cook that in there for 20 minutes. What they suggest, it's a tiny piece, so it might just burn, but we'll do it for 20 minutes on roast, and that's in the compartment number 2. We are going to cook it on air fry. I'm going to put it up to 200 for 20 minutes. So it's going to be at 200 Celsius for 20 minutes, and we'll press that button. We need to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. The times are sort of catching up now. That's got 40 minutes to do. So 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So 1, 2, and this is just some olive oil that I got from Aldi again. It's fairly basic, but that will have to do. I do have better quality olive oils, but not for something like this. We'll see how this goes. This is an interesting pan. It's not got any PFAs in it, which is good. It's a ceramic. It's not a non-stick Teflon-y type thing, so it's got no forever chemicals on this. So the great thing about an induction hob is it cooks very fast. It gets up to heat, and it's heating the pan itself. Right, let's put this in here now, and we've got to cook it like a steak. It smells gorgeous. Absolutely smells great. I think I'm going to turn this down because it feels as if it's burning. I'll take it down to number 4, which is it's spitting a little. So let's get that on there. The steak that's in the HYSapientia. I'll give that a quick look while that's doing. Well, that seems to be cooking like a steak in there. Now that was definitely 2 minutes on that side. So let's turn it over, and we can see here it's browned up nice. Can you see there how it's browned up? If I was doing this with a little bit more confidence, I would probably be throwing in some onions and some garlic as well, but I'm not going to risk it. Now, I think there's a little bit too much oil in there, and so I'm going to decant some of it off. I'm going to decant it off because I think I'm trying to cook healthy food, and it's no point in putting the marinade in here when it's got too much oil in. So let's just decant that off, and let's just live with what oil we've got left in that pan. You see there's not much left now. And now we're going to add the marinade again. The marinade's in. It smells gorgeous. It really does smell good. And then we'll give it a whiz round. Now this looks as if it's doing, that one's looking as if it's doing, so I'm going to set this off for, I'm going to set off for 2 minutes in the microwave, that one. So we'll be able to try different ones and see what's what. Now the marinade is now beginning to sort of, some of it's rendering down. It still needs another few minutes, I think, the sauce, for it to turn into a sauce. It just the moment looks a bit liquidy. Turn this round again. Now, the steaks apparently come from the leg, so I suppose it's the upper part of the leg. I don't think ostriches have a particularly nutritious body because they obviously have very big, long-legged rascals. I'll get my plate out ready. Now I think that's ready. So let's just put that onto a plate there. Let's decant. Let's try and run the marinade on top of it. So there's our first ostrich piece. We've got our watercress and spinach there. We have the microwave version of the ostrich. Use different tongs. Let's bring that, put that there. So that's the microwave one. This is the fried one. There's our spuds. Now, got a little idea so that we know which is which. Fried meat is that one. Is the one that's sitting here on at the back, the larger one. That's the one that's been done in the microwave, and we'll use two of the sticks to get this one. Now that's done for, that's 4 minutes. To me, as if it's ready. So I'm going to stop it at 15 minutes. It's a bit hit and miss because I've never cooked ostrich before. I haven't cooked ostrich before ever. So look, we've got 3. So I'm going to stick that in there. So that's our ostrich that's been cooked in the oven. Right. So here's the dinner. I'm trepidatious because I'm fairly certain I have never had ostrich. So the dinner's actually costing me £4. If we were we could use this into a mixed grill or something if you wanted to just add some of the meat to it, wherein you could share it with someone else. So this is the dinner. I'm going to try the potato first, I think. Those potatoes, something about this year's crop is marvellous. They do not need any mayonnaise. They don't need any butter. They are buttery as they are. They're marvellous. Now, let's cook this. Now, this is just a normal steak knife. This is an IKEA steak knife. Now, and I have to say, this cuts incredibly well. Now, it's very, very tender. Is this meat? Look, I'll hold this to the camera. That one, the light is not that marvellous on, I have to say. So, I'll bring it up to this camera so that you can see, and you can see there that it looks like beef or lamb. The proof of the pudding will be in the eating though. Right, so this is the piece that I cooked in the fry. Why? It's very, very tender, exceptionally tender. It's full of flavour. The barbecue marinade doesn't affect the flavour. It's got a sort of a slightly gamey flavour about it, but I have to say, in my mouth, it's incredible. would I have this again? I think I would. Now I'm going to try the one that we did in the microwave now, and see what happens with that one. Let's have a taste of that. Now, as I said earlier, I think these have been sort of pre-cooked, but not as tender as the fried version. But in some ways, it's got a sort of a different flavour. It's tender, really tender. Let's show you that. So it's a little bit more rare, I think. There, you see, it's a little bit more rare, but it's an incredible piece of meat. It's out of stock in Asda, but other companies do sell ostrich steaks. So if you see an ostrich steak, I mean, buy it. I'm going to try venison as well, but the problem with venison is obviously they've got shot in them. There could be lead in there, whereas these are humanely killed. They're stunned and killed just like if they were a chicken or a pig. The entire meat is halal. Now, I can't fault this. This is absolutely gorgeous. The meat from the meat that we fried is slightly better. Now I'm going to try the meat from the oven. Now I'll bring that up to the half that we put up to the oven. Now, can you see that there? The oven has sort of dried it out a bit. 15 minutes in the oven at 200 degrees. It might taste completely different. It certainly hasn't got its red feeling about the redness about it. But I'm going to have a little go. Let's see what we get from this. I mean, it's better to just simply do as they say and fry it. But I can see situations where you might want to actually put it in an oven. This is drier. Obviously, the outside is more like a steak, but it's got a different flavour. It's got a roasty type meat flavour, more reminiscent of, say, lamb or beef. It's a different flavour. Is it better than the fry? I'm not too sure, but it's tender. There's no collagen in this. Collagen is the sort of tissues that make parts of, when you have some beef, all those bits that you can't chew. There's no collagen in this at all. I mean, every piece of the meat is good. This is still the one that went in the oven. It's got an earthiness, but it could well be that's the barbecue sauce. The potatoes also have an earthiness to it. I really honestly can say that I have had almost a Sunday lunch type meal when it's not a complete ready meal. But so in terms of the ostrich steaks, the price £3.79, a little bit more than a ready meal. Obviously, it only takes about 5 minutes in a saucepan, in a fryer, just for frying it. Or you can put it in the oven, or you can put it even in the microwave. It was only in the microwave for 2 minutes. You've got an interesting meal, which if you were having a friends round, it's just something extra, something different. So if you see, it's so good. I could see this really improving. You could use this in a curry, or you could use it with tomato. You really could enhance the flavours a lot more. And a lovely gravy. But it doesn't taste like a bird. It tastes more like a red meat, a beef, or a pork, or a lamb. But it's an unfair comparison because the flavour is different. It doesn't taste like chicken. It doesn't taste like beef. It doesn't taste like lamb. It's got the tenderness of lamb, got the earthiness of beef, and of course it hasn't got as much saturated fat in it. High in protein. This is a highly nutritious meal, and it's also a healthy meal. For £4, which is effectively including the potatoes and the veg, would I recommend this? Is it good price? Yeah, it's a fantastic price. Is it great value? And I think it's incredible value. And would I recommend it? Yeah, I would. I would recommend it. I would eat it again. If I saw it in Aldi, I would buy it. It's got a longer life. I bought this in early July, and now we're in early August. So a month. So it's got a good shelf life. You keep it in the fridge. Just because it's in the sous vide, it's had all the air taken out of it, and so consequently it's got a long life. So it's great to have in the fridge, in your meat section of the fridge, because it's a great surprise for anybody. Am I going to eat it again? Yeah, of course I am. Would I recommend it to you? Yes, I would. It's something that's completely different. It's not the run-of-the-mill. It's not a steak. A steak would cost more than £3.79. It's not a pork chop. Pork chops generally can be a little bit bland, and it's not lamb. No, I love lamb. I absolutely adore lamb. Like most people who enjoy food, they really enjoy their lamb. But this is a different flavour altogether, and I honestly say I'm quite addicted to it. So I'm going to finish this off now. But from me, Nikki at Nikki's Nosh. Cheers, me dears.
Please subscribe to Nikki's Nosh and like, comment